The third Mainland Bridge will be partially closed at midnight today.
Officials of the federal and Lagos state government have mapped out ways to ease traffic on the various corridors. Africa's second longest bridge will be partially closed till January 2021.
All right, the Lagos State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Olusegun Ogunbamide, is here in the studio. Good morning, nice to see you.
Good morning. It's
great.
Good morning. And quickly, we have Sarah Ayeku standing by. She is on the third Mainland Bridge. She will be bringing us details.
Yeah, I think let's start with Sarah
Absolutely.
so we can get a feel of what's going on there on the street. Sarah, good morning. It's good to have you on. What are you seeing so far? It's less than 12 hours now to... Oh, okay. Let me say, later today, that's
right. That's safe.
I'm not good with mathematics, you know. But the point there is that 12 midnight today, that road, there will be the partial closure that everyone is talking about. Talk to us basically what's going on there. What are you seeing? Sarah, if you can hear me, I'm asking. You are on the streets. You are on the third Mainland Bridge already. What are you noticing so far?
Okay, so Mike, of course, it's something that commuters in Lagos have talked about for the past 2 weeks now, and it's something we all are anticipating. In just a few hours, the bridge will partially close. So where I am right now is the Adeniji-Adele junction, where you, for those going to the Eco Market, use this route to go to the Eco Market, and then for those going to the island, use this particular route to go to the island. So what you see right now is what's going to happen. Already we see that the Ministry of Works and the officials have mapped out that section over there, just right there. And so in the morning, when you have the morning traffic, people are allowed to use this particular route to go to the island. And so in the afternoon, when this particular section will be closed for those coming from the mainland, that particular section there will be open. So those who are coming from the island will be able to come in through that section, that particular spots that you're seeing, to link to this route. Because as you know that the other spot, that's the other section of the road, which is outbound the island, will be completely closed for 3 months. So what we're going to have is that this particular section will be open for 3 months for commuters going in and out of the island. So of course, a lot of persons are anticipating what's going to happen, but you know that the government has already mapped out strategies to see that commuters do not go through so much stress, and that's what we're going to see.
Sarah,
there'll be a test of
we'll have to interrupt your line of thoughts at this time, because we have the Lagos State Sector Commander in the studio in person of Olusegun Ogunbamide. He will be telling us about the federal government's level of preparedness for the lockdown today, partial closure rather, of the bridge.
Thank you very much.
All right.
It's been a very hectic moment in the last few weeks.
I can only imagine the kind of pressure on you right now.
All hands have been on deck, and like I said earlier, a series of stakeholders meetings have been going on just to get it right.
All right.
As at yesterday, I was with Mr. Governor, and it was a total confirmation of the fact that we are all on the same page, the state, the federal, and all the traffic management agencies. And just like the governor submitted yesterday, the agitation is quite not necessary, because if you look at the stretch of the third Mainland Bridge, it's only about 3.28 kilometers of that stretch that is going to be worked on. And when we talk of partial closure, it's not even up to what we call partial closure, because there's nothing like total closure of Lagos Island.
So when we talk about, so when we talk about this partial closure, it is the issue of all of you will use one of the lanes going that way this time, and then later on at the second rush hour, we turn it this way. Okay.
The way it's going to look like, the two sides of the road will still be made use of.
Okay.
If you're coming out of Lagos Island, there's going to be, this is the section they are going to work on, but we are still going to make use of a portion of it. That's Adeniji-Adele end, where you now make a diversion
onto the other lane.
The other lane. And few meters ahead, that's at Ebute Meta end of the third Mainland Bridge. You make a detour back to Oworoso Kibon. That's when you are going. That's at the evening peak hour. At the morning peak hour is unhindered traffic for those coming to Lagos Island. And we also agreed yesterday that 80% of the traffic naturally meant for Lagos Island, Third Mainland Bridge, has been taken care of at the peak period. We're making analysis yesterday that from the flow of traffic we saw, the bulk of the traffic were coming to Lagos Island. We were able to count about 100, while we counted only about 10, going to the mainland. If this few, just 20%, fizzles into the alternative routes, we might not really be having the problem we're envisaging. So, and in the evening when all the traffic will be tending towards Oworoshoki end, still making use of the inward-bound side of the road.
Yes.
From Oworoshoki to Ebute Meta, the people coming to Lagos Island will still have access of that road. Okay. We are not blocking any road at Car Wash, we are not diverting any traffic to Bagada or wherever. You can still make use of that road till you get to Ebute Meta and make a detour. Okay. And find your way to
would there be road signs to direct drivers when they get there, or they have to depend on your men who will be on ground to tell them go this way?
Enough diversion road signs are going to be there, both on Third Mainland Bridge and all the alternative routes. So you can be sure, apart from the fact that we have the human traffic signal, that's the men controlling traffic, you also have the road signs that are well placed. So the agitation is not...
So nothing to fear?
Nothing to fear.
Nothing to be anxious about?
On the part of the motorists, perhaps, but for your men, what are the concerns they have, especially with managing the traffic? Because it seems that they have their work cut out for them at this time.
Yes, we are prepared. And if the governor is saying about 620 last month, we are deploying about 250 road safety. And we have limited road network that we are managing. So why won't we? And all the machineries that are required for recovery, for rescue operations are going to be deployed at strategic location. The only thing that is required is collaboration between the traffic operatives and the road users.
Okay. All right. Let me get to Sarah, who is still there on the Third Mainland Bridge. The sector commander in the studio has said there is nothing to worry about when it comes to drivers going to the island and coming back to the mainland throughout the 6 months that the bridge is going to be partially closed, where, diversion from here and there. But talk to us, did you speak to drivers and motorists on what concerns they have?
Of course, there are concerns. The concerns have been there since the government announced that there will be a partial closure. But it's good that the government is constantly explaining how the routes will be managed. So, but it's important to also note that the repairs have to be done, because the last time the bridge was repaired was in 2012, which is like 8 years ago. And just last year, we had a bit of complaints. If you recall that we had that video trending on social media where some persons complained that some parts of sections of the bridge was vibrating. So we had some expansion joints, gaping like they were open. So it's, of course, right for the government to say that they want to repair some sections of the bridge. And so some sections that will be repaired, like 12 expansion joints. And just like the minister said, they'll also be repairing the bearings. So it's important for commuters to note that this is something that the government has to do, and we just have to bear with it.
All right. Thank you, Sarah, for bringing us details. We'll definitely keep a close tab on you for more details. All right, let's bring the conversation back to the studio now. Quickly talk to us. You mentioned something about collaboration between, or cooperation between agencies. Talk to us about that.
Well, the best thing that can give us the best in this scenario now is having a strong collaboration with all other agencies so that we can be on the same page. By 11:00 hours this morning, we'll still be having the final stakeholders meeting with Federal Ministry of Works and all other agencies. And it's just for us to put all the necessary points together and get it right. And the governor made a very salient point yesterday to assuage the fear of commuters that is going to release more than 600 buses. Okay. So the issue of people getting stranded out of the fear of what is going to
happen. So with that, it is advised that you don't have to use your car by all means.
That is just what we are trying to preach.
Okay.
Let us get the chunk of all these private vehicles off the road. You can imagine if a bus can carry about 35, 40 passengers that own private cars, that means we are having about 40 vehicles off the road. When we have limited number of vehicles, we can manage. And remember, this road that were bad before are now put in place. And that means we have free flow of traffic and we have less traffic on the road. All the same, Lagos Third Mainland Bridge is okay. You have the priority of the road at the peak period, which is very, very paramount.
Okay.
When we say peak period, quickly, what time are we looking at?
We're talking of 12 midnight to 1 p.m. for morning hour, and 1 p.m. to 12 midnight for return to the mainland.
All right.
All right. We have to leave it here now. Olusegun Ogungbemide, the Lagos State Sector Commander of the Road Safety Corps. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right.